Hey guys, welcome to TVL, where we have refreshing conversations and cereal recommendations. Today, Casey and I, we're going to go through our love story, and we're going to kind of go through first impressions, how they were quite different, and and talk through our engagement story and just what has been really leading up to where we're at now. So. Casey wanted to start, and Vaughn and Olivia, feel free to jump in with questions and comments. So, yeah.
Okay, so my first view of Corey, me and Chase were getting introduced to our homeschool group for the first time, and it was at Scott County Park, and I remember me and Chase walked up onto the homeschool group. We saw Corey. He was sitting on a slide with his acoustic guitar playing a song with his friend. He had his Justin Bieber hair. He had his blonde highlights. And me and Chase were like, look at this guy. So not a great first, you tell yours.
So mine is drastically different, right? So I played basketball in middle school and high school. This is in 2013, by the way. No, 2011. We were 13, 2011. So we were 8th grade, so this would have been middle school basketball. Her brother was on the basketball team, and we were playing a game in Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. And we carpooled to the game. This was before Casey and I had gotten together. This was just when me and Chase were best of friends. And I remember Casey got out of the van. And we were walking into the gym, and the wind was blowing, and it was just such a magical moment. And I thought, wow, that is a good-looking young woman. And it was great. It was wonderful. And that wasn't necessarily the start to our relationship, but it was definitely one of the first times where I noticed her, I saw her, and wanted to ultimately be with you.
One more story from me, equal value. Me and my mom were driving down the road, and she was like, what do you think about that Corey kid? I was like, oh my gosh, no. And she said, good. So you won me over, and that's,
Clearly.
Just from those two impressions. The fact that we're, together today.
Well, I had to work hard for it. It didn't come easy.
Yeah, well, it's possible.
And
you don't have to have a good first impression, right, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, and then let me add this. So, I delayed kind of pursuing a conversation just because I didn't want her brother to think I was using him to get to you. But, at some point I was confident in mine and Chase's relationship to be like, you know what? I don't think he'd get mad. And I remember I took my mom's phone off the nightstand, and she had Casey's number saved from homeschool group. And I remember getting my mom's phone, getting the phone number, and texting you. I don't remember what I texted you. I don't remember anything more beyond that. But I remember I took the initiative to just send you a text.
And I remember receiving that text. We were on our way home from a basketball game. We were walking into Subway. That Subway in Lexington, next to the McDonald's,
okay,
on Newtown or whatever. And I remember that you told me that you had taken your mom's phone. And at this point, I was like, I kind of like him, because I also had, this is the stupidest thing, but for some reason, it was such a big deal to me. We went to the food court or whatever. Yeah. We would do that all the time and in between games. And we got the same Chick-fil-A order. And to 13-year-old Casey, that was just so romantic. That sealed it. I was like, this is the guy, And so that had happened. And then you texted me. Mm-hmm. And I remember being very excited that you texted me. and thought it was kind of, in a way, sweet that you stole your mom's phone. That's mixed reviews, though.
Yeah.
And then I don't remember really anything else until, we were courting.
I mean, that kind of just started, the conversation of like, hey, I like you, you like me. What's the dynamic? Like, what does this look like, right? And we weren't allowed to date. We weren't allowed to, be by ourselves or anything like. We
honestly,
had to.
I think people might be like, "What the heck? You can't date? Like, how strict were your parents?" But it did give us some good foundations to our relationship because we had to do certain things, a lot of it together,
right,
that got us into the dating realm, like our McDonald's trips.
Right.
Every Tuesday or whatever, we go to McDonald's and get breakfast with your mom.
right,
That's like a foundational thing in our relationship that probably wouldn't have happened
right,
had we not been courting.
right. No, and I agree with that. It allowed us to take things slow, and
We were
allow
also
us.
very young.
Yeah, I mean, at 13, right? But it wasn't until we were 16 that we were given the blessing from your dad to start that traditional dating scene, I guess, right? So we were able to, go to movies by ourselves. We were able to go to dinner by ourselves. Cheddar's, yeah.
That was our first date.
Olive Garden, right? Just simple things, and this was before we were adulting, right? So it was fun to do those things, and so we courted for 2 years, we dated for 2 years, we played basketball with each other throughout high school. Once we graduated, I went off to college, and it was freshman year. I remember I took your mom and dad out to Cattleman's. I don't remember what month it was, but I remember the booth that we were sitting in. I remember sitting them down and having a serious conversation with, I love Casey so much, and I want to provide a great life for her. I really want to ask her to marry me. Can I get your blessing? And from what I can remember, there was no pushback. It was more of a celebratory dinner, of course. And, that was, a couple months prior to me asking, because I think I proposed in November. Yeah, November of 2016. So I had been in school at Eastern for August, November, like month and a half, right? Just a few short weeks to prepare and kind of get things ready, and that brings us to our engagement story, and I try my best to be that thoughtful guy, to make you feel special, to whatever. So I got with my roommate and her parents, and there was this place in Lexington called the Arboretum, and what I wanted was a complete surprise for Casey, and I wanted there's this gazebo in the middle of the little garden park, and we had Christmas lights, and I asked my roommate in college to decorate that, and had your parents help. And I had no idea what it would look like. I had this idea. Here's a a few boxes of Christmas lights. Can you do something with it, right? And I remember pulling up. It was cold. It was so cold. It was so cold.
That's one of the only things that I remember about it, because we had left a basketball game.
Yep.
I think my friend knew about it, but Pokemon was the real story,
right,
of this.
That was the ploy, right? I had to
but it was
find
so cold. Like,
right.
You're talking about Pokemon Go?
Yes,
Pokemon Go.
Your
I had to find a way to convince Casey to be out in the cold in this park, right? And the only way to do that was with this game. And I remember we had a code word. I don't know if you remember this, but the gatekeeper at the Arboretum was closed. But when we got there, they set up this code word with the gatekeeper.
I have no idea about this.
And the code phrase was, "Is it going to snow tonight?" And the gatekeeper didn't know what I looked like, didn't know what Casey looked like. The only thing that my roommate and her parents told him was, "Hey, let's use this phrase so that when this car pulls up and asks, 'Hey, is it going to snow tonight?' you know, hey, this is them, let them through." And so we got there, and I asked the question. It wasn't suspicious at all because it was freezing. And I remember parking, and I had the ring in my hand, the little box. I'm like, how am I going to hide this? And so I put it in my back pocket, and I opened the door for her to get out. And you know, she literally says,
like, I am not getting out.
Yeah, I'm not doing this. It's too cold.
I was like, I'm gonna get back in the car
right
now.
And I tried not to play my hand, but I remember saying, like, let's.
You said, come on, let's just go.
Let's
I said,
just
babe,
go.
I said, it is so cold. He's like, just trust me.
Just trust me. Yeah.
I was like,
just trust me.
You better be about to propose right now.
And so, you know, we have the game out, right? Like, we're still playing, right? And you know, Casey's head's down looking at the phone, right? And one of the funniest things that we still reminisce on is there's this Pokemon called a Jigglypuff, and we pull up, we walk up to the gazebo, right? We're like, wow, it's so beautiful, because they really did a good job. I still have pictures of it, completely mind blown of how well they decorated this gazebo. And I remember Casey saying, wow, that's so pretty. And I'm like, yeah, that is so pretty. Let's go look at it, right? And as we were walking up, I remember you saying, did you catch that Jigglypuff? And I'm not thinking about Pokemon at this time, right? I'm just like, I didn't catch this Jigglypuff.
This was like 7 seconds before he got down on one knee. I'm like, this is like the thought before the most important question of anybody's life.
And I remember taking your hands, right? She asked, did you catch that Jigglypuff? I said, no, I didn't. But let's turn the phone off, right? I remember taking your hands. I remember looking at you. Keep in mind, right? I know that your parents and my roommate is somewhere, right? I don't know where. This is a complete surprise, right? And because I asked them to video, right? I wanted a video of this. So they're somewhere, and I'm like looking around casually. I don't see them anywhere. But I'm like, all right, well, they're here somewhere. This is really cool. So I take her hands, right? And I remember looking at you, and I said, do you love me? And
yes, this is when I knew. I was like, okay, I understand what's happening.
And obviously you said yes. I'm like, do you love me? And you said yes. We had never kissed in front of her parents before, and I kissed her, and I knew that they were somewhere. So me kissing her, like, that was
they were also recording,
right?
Because they gave us the recording.
Yeah, this was the first time they had seen me kiss you, and so I was kind of nervous about that. And I remember kissing you, and then going straight down on one knee, and then you said yes.
This is my perspective. He says that, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm about to get proposed to. He does it, and then my mom pops up from a bush.
Well, right, but here's the thing, right? Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing is, you know, I propose, I pop the ring out, she says yes, and then everything's happy, and then I literally say, come out, guys.
Yeah, and then,
I didn't know where.
And then his roommate is somewhere, and I'm like, how many people are here?
You just hear the bushes ruffle, and they just start popping out. There's 3 of them, you know, her parents and my roommate, and they just start popping out, and they're like, congratulations, and we're just like, oh my gosh, like that was so great. And then we went to Malone's after, and that was nice.
With really no aspirations, like, of when we were going to get married. And I remember that being a very big thing, like, yeah, okay, now we're engaged. Now, how long do we wait?
Right. Because, I mean, I was still in school, you know, didn't really know financially, career-wise, what we were going to do. We just knew that, okay, this is the first step, right? The first step.
I do remember going to Starbucks and setting goals. Like, I think we had like 5 goals.
Mm-hmm.
and some of them were financial, some of them were, I don't remember them, but and I think we wanted to meet those goals before we got married.
Yeah, I do remember that. We definitely had our financial goals in mind. And we hit those financial goals too.
Yeah.
I knew that my biggest fear, and just to let you guys into my mind, right? My biggest fear was that I would not be able to provide for you, which delayed a lot of, our planning.
But I
Because
still feel like 2 years for an engagement
right,
is not that.
it wasn't right. It wasn't bad, but it was 29. When did you set the date? Is when we were in Houston. That was 2018, I think.
Well, we got married in
summer.
2018. I think it was 2017.
Yeah, the summer of 2017.
Yeah.
I had an event that I was flown out to in Houston. I took her with me, and it was there that we're like, hey, September 30th, like, let's do it. And
it's the only date they had available.
Right.
Mom's birthday.
And it was shortly. It was in that summer. I do remember that. It was around April. It was in October that I got hired on working third-party sales with Spectrum. So it was just a few short months later that we set our date that I got the job that allowed us to get married, and really kind of kickstarted my career.
Yeah.
And so a lot of things really took place and transpired over really 6 short months. And then within a year, we had our venue at the Josephina. We, had everything planned. We got that apartment, and it was really everything fell into place.
Mm-hmm.
And all throughout this time, it was, we definitely had ups and downs, right? But we slowly learned to trust each other and grow together.
It's mostly because you grew up a player.
She says that. I don't know about that.
You had to get out of your player phase.
I guess.
That's what Olivia says about me.
Oh yeah.
Player phase.
Well,
Player phase. I'm like, bro, look like a player.
Yeah.
But
you still have attributes of a player.
Word. Did you guys talk about your engagement a lot? Like, or was that kind of like just a Corey thing?
Like
were you involved in it at all? Like your ring?
No.
Did you know that she went?
No, I had absolutely no idea.
Her best friend at the time was kind of my like inside person. Like they would share, like she would share like Pinterest ideas with her, and then she would share them with me without Casey knowing, and
no clue.
Right.
Good.
And
until just now, like I knew you were talking with her after the fact a little bit, but like ring stuff, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, and I've already kind of alluded to it that I feel like one of my best attributes as a spouse is planning special things.
You're very good. I told you just the other day,
right,
that you're very good at planning things that like nobody would have ever thought about doing. And I think you know me better than I know myself.
I like to think so.
Yeah,
but it's
that's a good quality to have.
Yeah, I mean it's a small superpower. I mean it's. I struggle. Honestly,
if I have a question about myself, I ask you. I'm like, what's my favorite food? Because I don't know.
Yeah,
but you would.
But like our timeline was pretty simple. We courted for 2 years, dated for 2 years, we were engaged for 2 years. I mean we got married in 2018, and at that time we had been together for 7 years. So we were coming up on that 2-year engagement mark, and we stayed pure through the whole thing.
It's a long time.
It's a long time, and
especially to start out so young. I don't know what would be harder.
I mean, we grew up together, right? And that's what made it so hard is we matured.
We were together all the time.
Right. We matured together. And so that intimacy aspect of going through that together. I
we
mean,
did
yeah,
school together.
I mean, we did everything together, and yeah, we got into some trouble, but we never crossed that line. You know, we there, you know, maybe got close, right? But we never crossed that boundary. Like that was a boundary that we always had. That, you know, we're not going to.
We knew we wanted to walk into marriage with this goal.
Right.
Right.
And
succeeded.
And we did, you know, and that's something that we can be proud of. And during our wedding, it was very special. Those that were in attendance could feel
probably because they knew.
Yeah, because they watched us grow up together, right?
Right.
And so they knew how hard it was for us to, one, stay together, but two, be pure throughout our entire relationship.
And I will say that 7 years, there was only one situation that I ever mentioned breaking up.
Right.
Like these 7 years, we didn't take any breaks. We didn't, you know,
Right.
I mean, we weren't that kind of relationship.
Right.
It was this, and when I said taking a break or breaking up, I was like very serious.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I got off the phone after threatening that, and I was like, I can't do that.
Yeah,
Like I can't live my life.
It was
without
it was
him.
literally the only time where I remember going downstairs to my dad just sobbing because it was for an opportunity, and it was something that we disagreed on, right? And I had a decision.
I'm sure we'll
to
get
make.
into it.
Yeah,
Later
at
conversations.
some point, right? But it was a choice that I had to make whether or not I wanted to pursue what I wanted, right, in this opportunity, or if I wanted you, right? And as cliche or cheesy as it sounds, right, I knew that I would still have opportunities
Right.
that'll pop up with you, right? But I wouldn't, if I took that opportunity, there would be a void, right?
It's
There
like-
would be something that I would be
It's
missing.
like when you tell your kid, like, if you don't do this, I'm going to do this. And you're like, I really don't want to do that consequence. Like, that's how I felt in telling you that, because I was like, if you do this, like, I don't know that we're going to be together anymore. And I
Right.
pretty much, I don't know what happened after that, but I hung up shortly after I said that. And then I just immediately had this thought of the reality of that. And I was like, there's no way.
Right.
I'm like, I could not live my life without. I didn't tell him that, obviously. You know, you gotta let
yeah.
you gotta let it fester a little bit, make it serious. But I was like, I can't live my life without him. Like, I know that sounds really, but it was true. I was like,
Right.
I don't mean that. I did, and I was like, reality, I don't mean that. I can't. There's no way.
I mean, I don't show emotion really in front of my
I've only
dad,
seen you
but
cry like 5 times.
yeah. But I mean, I remember it was on the couch, and I remember literally just pouring
Your
out
dad was
my.
probably like,
Yeah, my dad probably had no, because he was just down, like it was just he was just downstairs watching TV, and I came downstairs just sobbing, like, Dad, like, I may lose Casey in this. And, you know, he really didn't provide advice. He was just there and he listened. He didn't say,
hey, you know,
you need to do this. or, "No,
sometimes
you need to
that's
do
all
that."
you
But,
need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget
That's
that.
probably why.
Yeah, I'll never forget that. And I didn't do that opportunity. You know, I turned it down, and
Listen to
it-
your women.
yeah,
That's right.
and it worked out right. And it wasn't you manipulating me, right? I wanted to make
Well,
that very
and
clear.
If we ever get into that conversation, it was spiritual based.
Right, it was.
So
it was this concept of being
It was
unequally
not-
yoked.
it was not just my opinion.
Right. And yeah, you're absolutely right about this concept of being unequally yoked. Like, right, we need to go to church together. We need to
Yeah.
do these things together. And when we're apart,
And look at
It's-
us now, you know,
Yeah.
like we're still riding that train.
we are. And, you know, so it's been hard, but it's been great. So what we're going to go ahead and do now is get into our cereal recommendations. So Casey has surprised us with some cereal, and we don't know what it is. So we're going to be blindfolded, and we're going to do a taste test of these the cereal. and see if we can guess what it is.
First of all, let's do like just as a baseline because we're gonna rate these.
Okay.
What's your favorite cereal?
I would have to say Captain Crunch.
That's a random one.
I love Captain Crunch.
You're not
What?
doing
That's pretty good.
CTC?
What's that?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
Oh,
It's like the best
I
cereal
like
of all time.
Captain Crunch. Yeah. What about you, Vaughn?
Yeah, I'm up to Captain Crunch. I'm gonna say I love Captain Crunch.
Okay, Captain Crunch.
That's what I'm
I don't
talking
even
about. All right,
think-
Olivia.
I don't even think Captain Crunch would be in my top 5.
Well, it's our number 1.
It was when I was pregnant, but not on just a
It hurts the
random.
roof of your mouth.
Yeah,
too.
That's
you
what's
would-
awesome
you
about
would
it.
always eat my Captain Crunch in the pantry.
What's your favorite, Olivia?
I would say any pebble. Cocoa.
Oh yes,
Fruity
that's my
Pebbles.
girl right there.
I think we should also guess what we think Casey brought.
Ooh, yes.
I'm gonna guess Lucky Charms.
I'm gonna say Fruit Loops.
Okay, hang
I'm gonna
on.
say honeycomb.
I don't think y'all understand.
Honeycombs? No way.
I don't think y'all. I tried purposefully to pick a cereal that's like ooh, you know, like you see
Right,
on the
Lucky
shelf.
Charms. I don't think we've ever had Lucky Charms in this house.
Okay,
Ever.
Let's do it.
I say honeycomb.
Honeycomb, and then you said Fruit Loops. All right, we're gonna clap on 3, and then we'll see you at the table. 1, 2, 3. Welcome to the table. We're gonna go ahead and jump into our blind cereal taste test. Casey has graciously prepared these for us, so we're gonna go ahead and close our eyes. She's gonna bring it out, and then we are gonna try our best to guess
Don't look.
which cereal she's picked. All right.
All right. Hopefully y'all have never had this before.
Yeah, so some.
Hey, don't try this right now.
We're giving you your
Okay, I think we should rate it too before we know what it is.
Yes. So you're gonna tell me your opinion.
1 out of 5. 5 being you need to go buy this right now. 1 is never buy this.
Should I feed you?
No.
Oh.
All right, it's coming over.
Okay.
Do you have your spoons ready?
Yes.
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 Wait, is this dry cereal or you put it on?
What?
Is this dry cereal?
No, I put it on it. Hang on.
You're not.
It's in front of you, but don't eat it yet. I have to show the people.
That is a strong smell.
Oh, it's definitely strawberry something.
Yeah.
Oh man, that smells exactly like a strawberry frosted mix.
Okay.
I was thinking
Exactly.
strawberry pop tart.
Okay, take a bite.
Oh man,
Do you like it?
that's good. Oh, it is.
I know it is.
Frosted Flakes.
All right, hang on.
Strawberry frosted flakes.
Yeah.
Hey, you were supposed to wait for a countdown.
Oh,
You're right. You can open your eyes.
I say 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah,
3 out of 5. I didn't eat it again. Not too happy.
All right. Well, go buy. It's actually
Bring over here.
strawberry milkshake, frosted flakes.
Frosted Flakes, not a sponsor. Go buy you
Not
some.
on the right.
Go buy you some. All right, come over here, Mom. We're gonna close out. Thank you for joining us for this week's podcast. We're TBL, the Vocke Lounge, and until next time, y'all stay classy.
Eat your cereal.
Yeah.